All right, we're back. We're live. I am Dave, the IT guy. Today, oh man, today. So, WikiLeaks, we all know who they are by now, so we don't have to go into all of that. But they released a new set of CIA Vault 7 information. Now, what does that mean? Well, I gotta tell you, first of all, it means quite a bit for quite a few different people. So today is all about what's called express lane. And what that means to all of us is the CIA had decided to monitor their intelligence partners within the U.S. and from around the world. But here in the U.S., they were monitoring Department of Homeland Security. They were monitoring the FBI. They were even monitoring the NSA, others as well. Now, what does this express lane thing do? What is it? So, the CIA has this tech group called the Office of Technical Service, and their job is to build all the cool spycraft stuff, miniaturized cameras and hidden microphones and USB drives and creating disguises for their agents. All the cool stuff that we all think about the CIA. Well, this Office of Technical Service, their job is to create it. Their job is to test it, build it, etc. Exciting stuff, right? All right. So the Office of Technical Service said, hey, we want to develop this software that we can put onto the computers that we provide our partners. So let's go through this step by step. The FBI calls CIA and says, look, we need to be able to collect this data on this person, this company, whatever that target is. Can you give us something that we can do this with and kind of be covert, right? So the OTS, Office of Technical Service, says we got this for you. So they send an undercover tech to the CIA, or I'm sorry, to the FBI, right? And they put this computer in, and they say, okay, Mr. FBI guy, this computer will help you capture the data on your target. It's got all this cool software here. Let me show it to you. What they don't show them, though, is that they also put a piece of software called Express Lane onto that new cool computer. So while the FBI is taking all this other data about their target and collating it and putting it, onto the computer to separate. Maybe they got some image files, some video, maybe they got audio, right? So they're collecting all these different types of data. Well, the CIA says, look, we kind of want to know what you got. Will you share it with us? The FBI says, sure, we'll share this with you. And maybe the FBI only shares a couple pictures or maybe a video, but maybe the FBI doesn't share everything. Well, that doesn't matter because the CIA has this cool toy, right? This express lane. So they're able to create a hidden partition on that computer. That hidden partition is encrypted. Everything that the FBI has been downloading and collecting has been creating a copy of itself onto this hidden partition, this hidden drive. Now, the next time one of these OTS, Office of Technical Service agents from the CIA comes and visit Mr. FBI guy and says, hey, how's it going? Is our computer working well for you? Why he's there, he can be all sneaky and stick a USB drive into the computer and transfer all that data over. Basically just copy it and shove it onto my thumb drive and I'll take it with me. It's all sneaky like, right? It's all spycraft and you don't know that I did it and all that kind of stuff. So it's a way for the CIA to spy on the other spies to make sure that they're getting all the data that the other agencies are getting. Now the question is, are they supposed to have it? I mean, I don't even want to talk about all the legal questions about who your targets are and things like that. Let's look at one simple fact that the CIA is not supposed to be working within the U.S. territory, right? They're supposed to be going after the others, everybody not Americans, right? Not USA. So if they're targeting the FBI or the DHS or the NSA or any of these other, three-letter alphabet soup agencies, and they're collecting their data from them, does that mean they operated within the U.S.? Does that mean they broke their own charter? Did they break the law? I don't know, but it's pretty amazing. I even found, now I can tell you this WikiLeaks came out today, which is August 24th of 2017. By 5:30 this morning, I was able to get screenshots of what that express lane creating a partition, and the part where they copy and from that computer and put it onto a secret thumb drive or USB drive is called exit ramp. And I've got screenshots. And I put them up on my blog. So if you go to dtig.net, David Thomas India Golf.net, look at my article called CIA Vault 7 Newest Leaks. You'll see screenshots right there. Check it out for yourself. Now, this particular software, the CIA themselves didn't really write it, right? So there's this company that's called Crossmatch that does biometric security and other security type of software. Coincidentally, and I failed to mention, is that ExpressLane is also targeting biometric information. So if I'm targeting, say, Procter and Gamble, right, out of Cincinnati, with this new computer system that the CIA bought me, or brought to me at least, I can collect biometric data. So if all these people are signing in and out of the research lab with their iris reads or their thumbprints, right, or some other biometric information, that database is stored somewhere in the network, and then it's compared against the scanner at the point of entry. So I'm able to collate, okay, hey, this thumbprint belongs to Dr. So and so, or researcher or student, whatever. So very detailed information, very scary types of information. So Crossmatch, back to them. So Crossmatch, they make all kinds of software designed around security, and they sell it to industry as a whole, private and public businesses, to help them secure their environments, to help them keep the bad people out. But I got to ask you now, if you know that Crossmatch very specifically built this software for the CIA, and they know that the CIA is used or created these backdoors and these other pieces like exit ramp, are you going to trust Crossmatch to come into your company and provide you with biometric or other types of security? Hell no. The first thing I would think of is, now I'm giving them live access to my information so that the CIA also has a backdoor into my company. You got to be kidding. There's no way. I mean, Crossmatch, I know that you did not want to be outed, and today was probably a very bad day for you guys. But I can say that it's only been about 15 hours since this data and information has been exposed. And I cannot imagine that these 15 hours, how bad they've been, but I would bet they're going to get worse. And if I have anything to do with it, and I really don't, but for at least my part of it, I'm going to make sure that the companies that I consult with and talk to know that as they're looking for security and biometric security software vendors, Crossmatch is not one to consider anymore. And for those of you that might even care, Crossmatch built a device back when we were hunting Osama bin Laden to help make sure that we had positive identification on him. One of their products was involved in that entire process. So they are a big time company, but man, I just, it amazes me that a company would knowingly do that. And I guess, right, they did not expect to get outed by WikiLeaks or that somebody would figure out who they are and how they're involved. But my goodness. So yeah, today was an interesting day. I think mainstream news media has not fully picked up on what's going on and why it's happening and what they should think about it. But I think over the next 3 to 5 days, it will become more mainstream information. And once it does, I think some changes. I don't know if I want to say heads will roll, but I think some changes at the CIA might be coming, and I'm sure that some mid-level staff members are going to probably take the blame for some high-level people and be reassigned or fired or possibly jailed. Again, it's they're not supposed to be operating here in the U.S., so I'll be very interested in seeing how that turns out. All right, so I am Dave the IT guy. It is what day is today? Man, it's crazy. This week is going by. It's Thursday. It's 8:24 today. So I've been normally trying to broadcast live on Wednesday nights, 6 p.m. in the East, and what I've been finding is that that is really not a great time. So my schedule will change. For the live shows, you're welcome to join in. I'll try to put as much notice out as I can via Twitter and my own web page, things like that. And I ask you to participate. But please, even if you don't get to hear this live and you're grabbing this via podcast, shoot me an email or send me a tweet at me. I'd love to hear what you think about any of my podcasts or any of my thoughts and opinions. I love to talk tech. So if you've got something to say, maybe even you've got a great idea about what we can talk about on the show, and hey, maybe I'll even bring you on the show to talk with me. So feel free to send me your ideas and your topics and your thoughts and comments, and it'd be awesome. While we're on the topic of that, I would also like to announce a couple things. One is this podcast got picked up by the iHeartMedia folks. So if you have the iHeartMedia app, feel free to go over there and search Dave the IT Guy under podcast. You'll find me. You can subscribe right there, and all of these will automatically load right into your feed, and you can listen to them at your leisure. They're great for car drives. Normally, I try to keep all of these podcasts under 30 minutes so that you can enjoy them over a quick lunch. You can ride in the bus to and from work, whatever, driving in your car, play it over speaker, whatever it is that you do when you have 15 to 30 minutes. So I try to keep them small. I try to keep them relevant, current to the topics of the day. So I appreciate that you join me. Also, if you have the Stitcher radio app, I was also picked up by them, so you can listen as I broadcast live. You can listen to me from the Stitcher app. I broadcast through Spreaker, Spreaker. So you can check their app out and listen to me live there, or you can join me in a text chat room, as many do, and I'll chat with you, and we can talk in real time. So again, lots of options. iTunes, if you go check out iTunes for any of your Apple devices, my podcast is picked up there. So I am worldwide. You can also hear me live out of the Cincinnati radio market on iHeartMedia's 700 WLW AM station. They are 50,000 watt flame throwing radio. So we're heard over the air in your car or in your office in about 28 states in live real time. So you'll catch me randomly as a guest commentator for the morning drives time people. Mostly Scott Sloan, who's on from 9 to noon Eastern Time, and then Rocky Boyman, who's on from 9 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time, are usually the two shows that I'm featured on. So right on, join me there. Go check them out too. If you like political talk and you're more conservative type person, you gotta check out Rocky Boyman. Now, if the name sounds familiar, he used to be a linebacker for the Indianapolis Colts back when he and Peyton and the rest of them won their first Super Bowl ring. So he's also on the air with us, and he is one hardcore conservative guy. He loves to talk politics. He loves Trump. He loves all things Republican, but he's intelligent. He's fun outside of the politics. He's just a great guy, great family, And yeah, so go check out his show. Scott Sloan, man, he's been around 700 WLW for a while. He's in the morning, and he's a little bit more I don't know how I want to describe him, but his show is very direct, right? He'll go after a show, and it doesn't matter if one day he was supportive of one side of the fence and the next day he was supportive of another side of the fence. He tries to be realistic. So as he has his guests or his topics, he kind of hits it right in the middle and decides, then and there, what he believes and what he thinks is right, and that's the point of view he'll present. So Scott Sloan, Rocky Boyman, 700WLW .com is their website. You can stream it live from there. The iHeartRadio app with me as well. You can just search 700WLW. You can search Rocky Boyman. You can search Scott Sloan. You can search Dave the IT guy. I mean, good Lord, you can't miss us. I'm on Twitter at DTigCincy. That's David Thomas India Golf Charlie India Nancy Charlie Yankee DTIGCINCY. That's me on Twitter. So last before we go, we've got about another 10 minutes or so. Let's talk a little bit about some other news that came out today from the tech world, and that's some new viruses and some new ways for you to get infected. Now, the news today isn't so much that a new virus came out. That happens every day. What is really scary today is the method of delivery of the new type of virus. And what I mean by that, some researchers over at Mimecast found that I can send you an email, and in that email will be a link to whatever, right? Well, that's not new. You're going to say, hey, Dave, the IT guy, I know about viruses on my email. I know not to open the attachments. I know not to click a stupid link. Come on, fool. Well, here's the rub. So they found a way using cascading style sheets and HTML5 to send you an email that might not even have any link in the body, or it might send you to a legitimate website. And so it gets past all of your spam filters, your content filters, right? It gets past all that and it sits in your inbox for a day or two. Well, they have found that because cascading style sheets are hosted remotely, so if you have a server built that way, usually the CSS code is hosted somewhere else on that same server or even on a different server. Well, they figured out that if you create an email, right, and I create this link in the email, I can then, after a day or two, or even just a few minutes, once I'm sure that the email has been delivered to you, I can then go and change the source code of the CSS, which will then automatically change in your email. So you'll still see the link that says come to Dave's website, right? And you clicked the link 2 days ago and it was clean and happy and you came right to my podcast. But then you forwarded that to somebody else because they want to hear all about Dave the IT guy. Well, now the CSS has been changed. You forwarded an email that you know is good, it's all hunky-dory, and now the person you sent it to is clicking on a bad link. Or even you clicked it a couple days later because you forgot what the URL is, so you went back and revisited your email and you clicked it again, and this time it comes up to a fake Dave the IT guy's site, and now you're infected. So they're able to bypass content filtering. They're able to bypass antivirus and malware filters. They're even able to bypass firewalls and zero-day filters because when they first send you the email, nothing's wrong. They're waiting for that email to sit in your mailbox a day or two, have all the scans happen, have it marked as safe, and then they change it remotely while it's still sitting in your inbox. Now, what we know from Mimecast, and by the way, you'll be able to find this story over on my blog at dtig.net. Check it out. I'll be writing about that here just shortly and posting it up. But they found that it only works with clients. So like Thunderbird, which is a Mozilla client, right? Or the Outlook clients. If you use a physical client to check your email and to send and receive email, that's where this happens because the clients is what stores the mail and then proactively goes out and checks for updates like CSS and things like that. If you use a web-based client, like you just log into gmail.com through your interface, right? Or maybe you have Office 365, so you just log into the portal.office365.com website. Or maybe you have your email from your company, right? And you just log into whatever website your company tells you to log into to check your email, right? All of that is perfectly safe because your web browser doesn't go out and update CSS. It doesn't look for those server-side include type of commands. So if you have browser-based email, you're in good shape. If you have client-based email, there's really no way right now to know that this happened, right? There's no way to know that the link you're about to click on was changed overnight or yesterday or 10 minutes ago. It's very scary. Now, Mimecast has indicated they have not seen or are not aware of any of these types of emails out in the wild. The exploit was found by a security researcher, not a black hat. The exploit was reported to several email providers, the Googles of the world, the Microsofts of the world, Yahoo and others, right? So they provided this information. But as of this second, this was only found just days ago. So as of now, there's no known way other than do not check your email with a client. Check your email with a browser to help save yourself. So crazy, huh? Interesting, crazy. Man, it's amazing how people sit back and think of all these different ways to get us, right? And then we have to think of 5 different ways to figure it out, right? So we don't get gotten. All right, well that's going to just about do it for this episode of Dave the IT Guy. CIA, WikiLeaks, Vault 7. It's all right there on my website. Come check it out at dtig.net. It's all there. You can hear these podcasts and others right there live from my site. As we said before, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartMedia app. If you're trying to find me and you can't, you didn't look too hard because I'm everywhere on the internet. I want to say thanks to all my good friends around the world who send me emails and ideas about storylines, and they want to debate a little bit about who knows what and who did what. And I can't say thanks enough to all those people for joining in and sending me those emails to keep me honest and to keep me on the leading and or bleeding edge of security and tech. So until next time, listen to me. I am Dave the IT Guy. I'm out of here. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon.